Hello, everybody. Welcome tonight to the training tonight. All right, we got our live conference call going. We have our Facebook Live going, and I want to make sure that everybody can hear me wherever you are. If you're tuning in, could you do me a favor? Look in the bottom left-hand corner and tag friend. I'm going to be working on that as well as we go through tonight's topic, which I'm so excited about, which is 5 ways that you can get new clients as a new coach. So if that's you, if you've been needing some money, if you've been needing some clients, if you've been hoping for some new strategies to grow your coaching business, I'm excited about sharing what I know for sure works for me and my business. And I look forward to tagging along with you and your journey as you guys grow as new coaches, as aspiring coaches. And so I want to give you guys a minute to jump on, tune in, and tag a friend as we get set up, and invite everybody that can be a part of tonight's call to jump on with us. For everybody who do not know me, may not have trained with me, my name is Andrika J. Austin. I go by AJ for short. So excited to be with you on tonight's Power Training Coaches Call. I always get that mixed up. Let's just call it the training call, okay? And so we won't be on long, of course, but I did want to jump on and answer a question from one of our fellow life coaches about how to get new clients for your coaching business. So thank you to everyone who's already on our Facebook Live. Shouts out to everyone on the conference line. I'm going to see if I can work this right to make sure that all questions are answered and that I give you as much as I can. I believe in adding value to the lives of our coaches, especially those new and starting out and trying things for the first time. And veteran coaches, don't worry, I got something for you too. So just hang in there with me. We'll be on until about 8 o'clock tonight. One of the new coaches that just joined our group asked how long our calls usually last. They're scheduled for about 25 minutes, but of course, at the end, we'll go to our lines and see if we have any questions. And those of you that are on Facebook Live, go ahead and post your questions in the comments. And if I can't get to them today, we'll definitely put it on the agenda for one of our upcoming calls. So come on in, look in the bottom left-hand corner of your screen, click plus, which means to share this out. Let your fellow coaches in our Facebook group know that we are on live. And we are ready to roll. So hello to everybody who's early. I like you guys. Jump on early. And hopefully everything is picking up right on our conference line. I did hit record. Had to remember to do that. All right. So happy Wednesday, everybody. Thank you again for being here tonight for our weekly training call. We are going to go over the 5 ways to add new clients to your coaching business as a new coach. For those of you who may already know how to do that, you $1 million coaches, you 6-figure coaches, you're in luck, because maybe something that we have going on tonight you haven't heard before. But first, I want to give a shout out to our new coaches. We trained a small group of new coaches in Atlanta this past week. Congratulations to our new coaches. Hopefully they're on with us live tonight as well. If not, no worries. There's always the replay for Facebook Live and for our conference line. So as we get that together, let me just say that we have another upcoming training on Friday, September 29th. 2017 in the Atlanta area. So for all of you coaches who are already certified, which all of you should be if you're here in the Fast Coach Training Alumni Facebook group, if you tell a friend, they pay, they show up and complete the training, you will get a referral fee for telling somebody about the training. So again, our upcoming training date, Friday, September 29th, 2017, 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. in the Atlanta area. Always get more information at the website where we all registered at www.fastcoachtraining.com, and that's www.fastcoachtraining.com. Send anybody that you know who you think will be good at being a life coach or who's been asking about being a life coach. If you want them to be coached and certified through the same company you went through, send them to fastcoachtraining.com. I just dropped it in the comments below, and make sure that they tell us that you referred them so you can get your referral fee. Tonight, we're answering Nancy's question. And again, if you guys have questions on the conference line, make sure you press *6 toward the end of the call, and I'll get those. And for those of you on Facebook Live, make sure that you enter your comments and your questions below. One of our coaches, Nancy, was asking about ways to get clients. She's like, what do I do as a new coach? Is there any tips you can give? And I said, okay, if you be patient, I promise you that I'll feature it on one of our upcoming Fast Coach Training calls. So I love to share things that have worked for me in growing my business. But one of the questions that I asked her, we ended up doing a private inbox, was what type of coach are you? So for those coaches that are on with us live on Facebook, I would love to know, what type of coach are you? That's the first question you want to ask yourself when you're considering ways to get new clients, because it helps when people know what type of coach you are, what they can expect when they work with you. The second question I want you to answer for me is, what topics do you coach around? So for example, what's that one thing people always come to you as a coach and ask? I know for the people that I've trained over the last year or so, you guys come to the coaching training and you tell me, you know what, AJ, I've been a coach, or I've been coaching. I just had to come and get this certification, this piece of paper, make it official. So what are those topics that people were telling you to go ahead and make it official around? What topics do you usually coach around? And then finally, the question to ask yourself before I get into my answers is, what are you, or do you want to be known for? Again, what are you currently known for, or what do you want to be known for? So first, you're starting with the topic of what type of coach are you? I know we have some empowerment coaches, some relationship coaches, some business coaches, some generic life coaches, but it helps when you have a specialty. For example, I'm a business coach. I specialize in helping women entrepreneurs build their coaching businesses based on biblical principles. And so I also do something called messaging magic, which is diving into the stories that we tell people around why we're a coach, why we're building these businesses, and what it matters with the vision and the mission God has given us. So hopefully that's a little clear for you, to give you an example of how to answer what type of coach you are, what topics you coach around. Mine was messaging magic. And then what are you, or do you want to be known for? I want to be known for helping coaches grow their businesses around biblical based principles, and as they tell their stories to get more impact, influence, and income. So that's a quick example for our coach, Nancy, who threw the question out there about how to get more clients as a new coach. Now, when I first started straight out of Fast Coach training about 4 years ago, I got certified in 2013 when it was a 2-day training instead of a 1-day training. And we met all the way up in Alpharetta, Georgia. But thank God we have simplified the training, made it 1 day, have the online offer feature, and we get everything we need in those 8 hours. So I took my first client because, you know, one of our instructions in our training manual from Dr. Duckett is to go out and start coaching for free. So I had a free client I took on for a few weeks, and I sat with her and I addressed all of the issues that she had around her life and around running her business. And I advise you guys to start out with a free client if you haven't already, because it'll give you clarity on what you do and what you don't want to do. For example, when I did the coaching with this client, I gave her 12 weeks for free. That is a long time to be coaching, but not just coaching. I went to her in person. We met up once a week for 12 weeks. And if I'm not mistaken, that's about 3 months or 90 days. That's what I usually do my coaching around. And so we met up, I coached her. But one thing I really discovered about myself is that I hate in-person coaching, in a sense that I don't want to drive anywhere. First of all, let's get out of the bed, put on clothes, leave the home office, drive around the city, meet up with someone for however long. I think we agreed on about an hour, maybe 90 minutes for that session for 12 weeks. And then I just discovered that I didn't like the in-person coaching. So I decided to take my business online. So now everything I do is virtual, other than showing up for you guys and do the training and the speaking and the facilitating. And I get trainings and speakings around the city. But to do one-on-one individual coaching, that one free session that took 12 weeks to complete showed me that I did not like in-person coaching. So I ask you, dear coach, how do you prefer to coach? Is it in person? Do you want to get up, get out of the bed, put on clothes, drive to a location, fly to a location, meet up with your clients in person? Do you want to take conference calls or Facebook Lives like we're doing now? Do you want to do Zoom, or how do you want to meet with your clients? See, these things, in addition to what type of coach you are, what topics you coach around, and what you want to be known for, they matter before you go out looking for new clients. You need to have this established. So I encourage you, if you haven't thought through this, give these questions some thought. The second thing is, that was number 1 on our list of 5, by the way. The second thing is, when I was starting out in a new city, looking for clients, or looking for at least people to contact and connect with in the business community, do some researching, do some networking, build my resource list, I went to my local chamber of commerce. I went there told them who I was, got information about what they do. They also had a big wall full of business cards. And so because I knew coming into business that I just wanted to coach women small business owners, I looked at all of their cards on their chamber's wall. And any card that had a woman's name on it, I took it and I put it in my pocket. Well, about an hour later, I left with about 200 different cards of people to reach out to via email. Now, listen, I reached out to introduce myself. I did not reach out to spam people. I did not reach out and add them to my email list like a lot of people are bad at doing. I reached out with a personal email that said, "Hi, my name is AJ. I'm new to the city. I'm a brand new business coach for women entrepreneurs. I would love to connect, find out what you have going on in your business, learn more about your business, and to see where some good places to go network in the local community. Since you're familiar, apparently because you're a member of the chamber, I found your card. And by the way, I got your information from the Chamber of Commerce so that they would know that I just wasn't randomly going out and collecting cards. Well, I kind of was, but I kind of had permission, but I also still kind of needed to introduce myself. So I took it upon myself to reach out and to introduce myself via email. But listen to what I said that I did. Again, I told them what type of coach I was. I told them what I was looking to do, which was network, connect, find out more about their business, and find out where else to go and find women entrepreneurs in business, because I knew that's what I wanted to coach around, and that was my market. So keep that in mind, new coaches. If you have not established exactly what you want to be known for, exactly what your topics are, you need to know this before you start reaching out and trying to build your network. That's number 2 on our list of 5 ways to get new clients. And then there's number 3. I was featured in my local hometown newspaper when I moved back home, and I was taking care of some business, and I was trying to get out again and get my name known as a new coach and what I was doing in the community. And at that time, I was working with kids, teaching them about entrepreneurship, just again to get my feet wet, to find out what I liked, and to find out what I could add to the community. Well, because I was featured in the paper for doing this good work in the community, one of the leaders of a local B2B or business to business networking group, she saw that article. She looked up the company that I was representing at the time, which was my brand new company, coaching company. And she reached out to me to invite me to her networking event. Now, it turns out she was also a member of the chamber, but she came from that newspaper article. So I want to say that because that goes back to what we're taught in the Fast Coach training class, which is to reach out to our local newspaper stations. Yes, it's in your training manual. You were given everything you needed in Fast Coach training to start a life coaching business and get out there and generate clients. So if you look at the part in the back of your manual that says 12 ways to generate clients, you'll see that I did what was recommended, which was get in to your local newspaper, get featured. And then that puts your name out there as a new coach in the community, what work you're doing, your company name. And it gives people ways like Patty, the lady that reached out to me. It gives them that opportunity to look you up, find out what you're doing, follow you, invite you out to speak, to network, to connect. And then they become clients. So little did I know, Patty, the same member of the chamber that came from the newspaper article, she invited me out to speak and to network and to connect with her B2B networking group. She also ended up signing up to become one of my clients. She took my 6-week live life coach training class when I was first starting out. I got a free training room at Belk in my local mall. You guys know, ladies, I'm sure you know, the Belk store in the mall. They had a free training room that they let me use for 6 weeks. And Patty, this friendly stranger, showed up in this class. Now that goes back to our training manual as well. Now, you guys, I was determining whether to make this a 2-part training, but I'm giving some good tips and some juicy nuggets. So for those of you hanging on to the end, shouts out, because you're about to blow up Shuate your business. And yes, I said blow up Shuate. For those of you who are familiar with Jamie Foxx in the past, that's what he used to say. I love that term. So if you put these things into practice, you're going to take your business to the next level, aka blow up Shuate. So if you refer again to the 12 ways to generate clients in your Fast Coach training manual, it also talks about hosting free weekly nights in like a local library or a local center. Well, that shows you that I put that into practice by calling my local mall, seeing who had an available training room. And because I had been to a training at this particular location, I reached out and I told them, hey, I'm new to the community. I'm hosting a class for lady entrepreneurs in the community. And I would love to know how to reserve your training room for free. They gave it to me on the days that they were not using for 6 weeks. So guys, again, refer to your training manuals on how to get this stuff done. Get featured in the newspaper, get the free space to host your trainings if you wanted to do live. Now, this particular 6-week training, I know I said I don't like live, in-person individual training. This was a small group coaching training, which if you've been in business anytime, you know there's a difference between one-on-one and group coaching. Now, I prefer group coaching because there's more than one person in the group, and you're saying the information one time and it's helping more than one person at a time. So I use the Belk training room to get the free class for the small group coaching for 6 weeks. The lady, Patty, who found me from the chamber and the newspaper that invited me out to speak and invited me out to network, which is what I was looking to do, she came from all of that, putting that information into action. So we've already talked about what type of coach you are or what type of coach you want to be, what topics you want to be known around, and what you currently want to be known for. We talked about what it's like to do some free sessions starting out to find out what you like, meaning how you want to deliver your coaching, live in person, by phone. We talked about how I networked at the chamber, and you guys can do the same thing. And by the way, I was not a chamber member to go in and see who the members were. I went out and I did the footwork. All right. And then number 4 on our list of 5 ways to get new clients, we have things called Facebook groups. Now, I say Facebook groups because, of course, you guys on Facebook Live with us tonight are a part of the Fast Coach Training Alumni Facebook group. But I'm embarrassed to even say how many Facebook groups I'm a member of, but I get out and network in the Facebook groups, meaning I fellowship with the people, I answer questions, I respond to the posts, and I end up connecting even offline with some of my group mates. So one particular, I remember it was the 4th of July a couple of years ago, was the actual holiday. And because I was active in one particular Facebook group, this lady named Elaine, she reached out to me on the 4th of July and said, hey, we're both members of this group. I love your interaction. I hear that you coach. What are your prices? And from that led from going from a Facebook group to having her reach out to me in my private inbox on the 4th of July holiday. I remember it very clearly because I was at the skating rink that day because it was free skating for the community. So I was out breaking in my new skates that I had bought myself for Christmas that year. And I got that text on my phone and I took a pause in my skating because I'm like, oh, this is a customer inquiry that came from a Facebook group. Now, Elaine ended up booking me for $500 per session. Now, I also met her live. This was again in the beginning before I knew my lesson of I didn't want to do live coaching, but she was paying really well. And so she paid me $500 per session to meet for about 4 sessions. Now, that's about $2,000. And yes, I went to her house, but I only went to her house. Now, I don't advise you to do this unless you are very familiar with the person. The only reason I went to her house was because she lived right down the street from me. So look at this. It took a Facebook group online to meet one of my neighbors in the community who knew what I did. She trusted me enough to let me in her house. I trusted her enough to go to her house. She paid me for the sessions. We met live. She lives nearby and she is a customer for life. So look at that. Look how that works. So even online networking works as well. So again, I advise you to get familiar with the people who are online, develop those relationships offline, and then see what it could lead to. And then finally, we are at number 5 of the 5 ways that you can get clients as a new coach. So number 5 was, now I'm a networking person. I'm a conference, event, attendee, seminar, teleseminar, webinar. I'm everywhere all the time that I want to be. So one particular event, again, took place in my local community, and I was invited out from a friend I met at a networking event. She just happened to be the host of another event that was taking place, and she already had her speaker. So I went to hear the speaker. Now, this speaker was a new coach She was also a new author and a new speaker. So I listened to her speak, and then I ended up reaching out to her after the event. I bought her book and I read the book, and then I gave her a call to give her some tips on how she could become a better speaker. Now, the only reason I did this was because I am a 20 plus year veteran speaker. If you guys have been in training with me, you've heard a little bit of my story. You know that I travel and speak. You know that I speak online. And so I felt very comfortable reaching out to her, talking about her book. I'm an 8-time author, so I knew what it was like to write a book. So we had that in common. And I also knew how she could improve on not only her writing skills, her book writing skills, but her speaking. And she loved the information that I gave her. Now, when I said I called her, I gave her that value. I believe in giving value. If you go back to the first few tips that we talked about, I also believe in knowing your niche. Again, my niche is women entrepreneurs. A lot of entrepreneurs that I meet, they are coaches, they are speakers, they are writers. So this lady, her name was Kim, and I reached out to Kim and let her know, hi, my name is AJ. I came to your event. I bought your book. I read your book. I would love to share some tips with you on how you could potentially even get more speaking events if you would like, and how you can write more books. Now, because I gave her that free advice on how she could speak better and write better, she hired me for 6 months to be her coach. She spent several $1,000s coaching with me for the next few months. And while she was coaching with me, she wrote 2 additional books. She also quit her full-time job and coached for full-time. And she now has a certified training through the state of Georgia to go out and provide her coaching, and people get ICU credits for coaching with her. Now imagine if I was not at that event. Imagine if I did not reach out and share with Kim what I knew. Imagine. All right, guys, I think I may have lost you just a moment, but imagine if I wasn't active in the Facebook group and met Elaine and signed her up as a client. Imagine if I didn't take Dr. Duckett's advice that's in our Fast Coach training manual with the 12 ways to generate clients and gotten in the newspaper. I would have never met Patty and gotten invited out to speak and network and connect. She would have never signed up to take my live 6-week training, which I got the free Belk Coach training room. Imagine if I would not have went to the Chamber of Commerce and reached out to 1,500 women. I forgot to tell you guys, by the way, it turned out to be 1,500 women that I connected with just from that one time visiting the chamber and reaching out and them connecting me with other people. Imagine if I would not have signed up my very first client fresh out of Fast Coach training school, if you will, and gave her free 12 weeks coaching and found out, hey, I like group coaching. I like coaching online. Imagine if I would not have invested in doing those 5 ways to get 5 new clients. I couldn't share what I've been through with you guys tonight. So again, I ask you, dear coach, what type of coach are you? What topics do you coach around? What are you or do you want to be known for? And are you ready to be known in your local community, both online and offline, as a coach? So again, I believe in giving value. Now I want to take a moment to answer any questions anyone has. If you're on with me with the Facebook Live, go ahead and type your questions in the comments below as we wrap up our call tonight. We have about 5 more minutes. Put any of your questions in the comments on the Facebook Live. And if you're hanging out with me on the freeconferencing.com conference line, could you do me a favor and press *6 on your phone, which will unmute you and you can talk with me live. By the way, guys, I want to let you know that I'm going to help you with other topics coming up. We've had some great suggestions as I get to talk with you guys online, offline, by phone, in the inbox, on the Facebook group. We're going to talk about how much you want to make each month as a coach coming up. Now that's a juicy topic as well. I'm going to show you how to break down what to charge as a coach. I was going to include that in tonight, but I'm going to make it juicy, and we're going to give you time to go out and implement everything that I've shared tonight. And then when we come back, now I'm not sure if it'll be next week call or the next week, so you'll have to tune in, but eventually, really soon, we're going to talk about how much you should be charging as a coach. And here's a hint. there is a suggestion already in your Fast Coach Training Manual. So guys, I'm looking in the Facebook Live. I don't see any questions, so make sure you type. Now I know there's a delay, so I want to give you guys a chance to type as well. And let me go to the phone lines. Is there anyone on our phone line? Just press *6, which will unmute yourself. Tell me your name and let me know what your question is. Do we have any callers with any questions on our phone line? All right, guys, I hear somebody. I think you're trying to come through. I'm not sure. I hope I didn't miss you. If I missed you on the phone line, make sure you can email your information to info@fastcoachtraining.com. Again, that's info@fastcoachtraining.com. I'm trying to get to you on the phone line, but press *6. You may have yourself on mute. I'm going to give you a few more seconds to try to get through. I do hear some numbers being pressed, but I'm not sure if you can get through. All right, Facebook Live, I don't see any questions. You guys listen. I believe in giving value, as I mentioned. Yes, I'm one of your trainers. I enjoy spending 8 hours with you when you do your training with me. But I also love hearing the success stories that you guys get from implementing. Now, as I mentioned, I am a business coach for women entrepreneurs, and a lot of the women who have gone through my training with Fast Coach Training have already connected with me, signed up for some of my coaching programs. I say that because I get to interact with women entrepreneurs all day, every day. And if you can't tell, I'm very passionate about what I do. I do what I love, and I absolutely LOVE what I do. Okay. So I get a lot of questions. I see a lot of interaction, and I always like to hang around and be a part of the journey as you're growing. And so I love for you to come back and tell me what you implemented, what worked, because again, this is not new. The Bible says there's nothing new under the sun. That means that someone has gone out and done this for you. I mentioned several times that hints are all throughout your Fast Coach Training Manual. If you need a copy of the manual to be sent to you again, email info@fastcoachtraining.com. We'll get that over to you because again, you have everything that you need to succeed as a coach. All right, guys. So before we wrap up, let's see, we have Tina Bailey. Thank you, Tina. Let me give you a thumbs up on Facebook Live. Tina says, I find people always want free advice, not coaching. How do you change from being seen as the person for advice? Tina, what I'm going to tell you is to tune in because that's going to be a topic for our next, if not the next week, we'll definitely have it soon because we're running out of time. I promise you that I will come back on our Facebook Live on our Wednesday night training call and answer that very question because it's very detailed. And believe it or not, you're not the only person that wants to know the answer to that. So I'm excited about that topic because a lot of people are having this issue and we're going to come through and address it. And I want to save the full 25 to 30 minutes to make sure you get that question answered personally. And Tina, I'll try to remember to tag you when we're doing that topic as well so that we have enough time because we've got about 2 minutes left during our time together. Thank you for that question. That's a fabulous question. All right. And I see a question on our Facebook Live from Y'all See Jesus Celeste. She says, great. I've been coaching for a year with a group and I want to increase fee. I'm looking forward to those tips. Good. So I know at least 2 people will be on our next Fast Coach training line, right? Shouts out to you guys because I see about 5, 6, maybe 7 of you guys have hung out to the very end. I love when people come on, get knowledge and go out and apply this information. Celeste is excited about our upcoming call about how to increase your fee. I can't wait to share it with you. I teach a class called Price to Profit, girls. So I'm going to teach you guys how to price to profit because it's time out for that free advice, Tina Bailey. We're going to talk about that too. So you guys make sure to tune in to our next Fast Coach training call. All right, guys. Well, I don't see anyone unmuted on our Fast Coach training phone lines. Thank you, Tina Bailey. Thank you, Celeste, for your questions. Thank you also for the patience because I really want to make sure that we can dive into these topics. So make sure you tune in coming up. So shouts out to Pixie Lee, Tawana, Shanita, Yolanda, Gayla, Tina, Sam, Sakita, I hope I said that right, Sheila and Celeste. Also, Shonda, thank you guys for jumping on. Hey, Tasha, you got to check the replay. We're wrapping up. So again, guys, my name is Coach AJ. You see me post in the Fast Coach training group. If we're not friends, let's connect. I love answering questions via inbox if you have questions that I can help you with. And I also love giving you resources that I have, as well as the other coaches and trainers in our group. So let me know what questions you have. I'm always putting it out there. What do you guys want to learn about? So I'm going to go and develop these topics for you guys, and be sure to meet me back here next Wednesday, 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And hey, share the replay with some of your coaching friends, even on your Facebook page, to say, this is what I'm learning about to build my coaching business, and you should too. Until I see you guys again, my Facebook friends, God bless you. Have a great night. See you next week. Bye-bye.